All right, Aristotle in the book Politics, books 3, 4, and 5. The difficulties I find with Aristotle is his writing in general. To me, it's like reading an owner's manual. It's very difficult for my mind to comprehend it. I have to read through it several times in order to really understand what he's talking about. And I even had to go a little bit further, especially as he talks about the different cities. And there's so many different kinds. So I looked up each one, listed out their, like he did, the positives and negatives that he listed, their successes, their failures, and then his ranking from best to worst. I really like the fact that Aristotle, when he writes, he doesn't say this is what I think every form of government should be. Instead, you have an evaluation of government. He kind of shows, hey, this may be the best case scenario. This is probably the worst. And these are practical. These are what people are living in. He talks about the transition of those. And so I did enjoy reading that as I look at our own form of government now in the United States. And I actually tried to place our government today within his writings, because we call it a democracy, but I mean, does it really fit? And so we'll talk about that later. One of the things that I saw that was difficult, and especially at the very beginning, was his definition of citizenship. Now, after reading the other two books, I kind of got a better understanding of it. As a citizen is a person who is involved in the political system. They're involved in the governance system. And so it's not necessarily, it's different for each city or each state. The way they govern, their citizenship is defined differently. But Aristotle seems to say, well, citizenship is really anybody who plugs in to that city-state, whether it's a judiciary sense, you serve on a jury, whether you vote to elect peers or those kind of things. So if you serve or have any kind of activity in government, then that makes you a citizen. I thought that was kind of a neat outlook on citizenship. I also struggle with Aristotle's use of virtue as I've studied his ideas of virtue in other classes. His sense of the word. And sometimes he uses virtue as if it's a person's calling or their position in that city. And then other times he uses it to describe their goodness, that they live between the vices, that they live in that mean, which he calls good. And so you see that in different places, especially when he's talking about a person in a city and whether it's, because he says, look, the middle class is what makes it healthy. A person who, or these cities that are good because they have virtuous people living in them. They live within the means. It's moderation. Of course, that's Aristotle's idea of virtue, is living within the mean of vices. To the extreme or to the deficiency, you live in the middle, and that moderation is what makes a city healthy. All right, for my content questions, can a person, especially a leader of a particular government, be called both a good, virtuous person and a good citizen in a corrupt government? The reason I ask this question is if this would be like a person who was a good person at heart, who wanted to do things the right way, but yet because of their position or because of their citizenship, they had to compromise their goodness in order to comply with government laws or positions. And then also, my next question would be this. If Aristotle looked at America today, what type of government would he say that we were? If he looked at the United States, says, what kind of government are they within his ideas? And to what extent or how close are we to sedition right now, or how close are we to a form or change of government? Just something that I wanted to discuss. Thank you.